2024 NFL Draft coverage on Keon Sports is brought to you by JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL was founded by the Lewis family of Kent, Ohio in 2005 to provide residents with a reliable, professional, and high-quality level of service. Fast forward to today, JBL Roofing and Construction has become one of Northeast Ohio's most trusted roofing and siding companies, performing the highest quality work on over 3,000 roofs and projects. Mickey Mart, the moose is on the loose. Your local Mickey Mart is open now for all the food and fuel you need to keep every big game party going. Mickey Mart is proud to team up with Keon Sports to bring you all the finest moments in local sports information and entertainment. Visit www.mickeythemoose.com to find a store near you. Gotcha Covered Avon. Their team of experienced design consultants are experts in helping you find the right window treatments for your home or business. Swing by their showroom at 2525 Nagel Road in Avon to see for yourself how they can make your entire living room or any room look better with a few small suggestions and low cost. You can also find them online at gotchacovered.com/Avon. Lally's Handyman Service. From deck and fence building to indoor and outdoor remodeling, Lally's Handyman Service has you covered. Matt and his crew is well known around Keon Sports for doing a multitude of services and have hit a home run every single time. Repair, replace, and remodel with Lally's Handyman Service. Give them a call at 216-789-2047. Lou Grosso Accounting and Tax Services. Your taxes and accounting needs must be handled by the very best so you can rest easy. You can have that comfort of knowing your money is being handled by the experts with Lou Grosso Accounting and Tax Service. They prepare individual, corporate, nonprofit, and small business tax returns. They also specialize in investment accounting and managing clients' QuickBooks with over $275 million in assets accounted for. Located in Avon, they prepare your federal, state, and city return, which includes e-file and direct deposit. Please visit their website, www.lougrossotax.com, for more information. And Every Step Senior. Every Step Seniors is a full-service relocation service helping seniors to downsize and move. They handle every step of the way, including packing, moving, setup, home cleanouts, donations, and home sale prep services. Make sure you check out Every Step Seniors today. Cole McDaniel back with you here one last time on the Keon Sports YouTube channel for the 2024 prospect rankings, and it's the edge rushers going to wrap this up. And I want to take a second to thank all of our wonderful sponsors, thank Vince McKee, of course, and looking forward to the draft show upcoming here before too long with myself, Vince, Dom Clary, as well as Brandon Soder. Of course, you have to tune into that. Night 1 and Night 2 of the NFL Draft, we get together, we do that live. You have to pay attention to that. The draft content, again, that we put up is fantastic with the highlight clips and getting to evaluate and talk about that. So we're looking forward to it once again. One of, actually two of our favorite nights of the year, every single year that we do that, and it's only gotten bigger and better every single year, so make sure you do tune in. Now, also want to take a minute here to thank everybody who's watched and listened to all these videos here recently. And, a lot of work has been put into this, months of evaluating prospects. My big board that's coming up here that I will post in the next couple of days, 248 prospects in total between all of those position groups that I evaluate and who I put down on my board as where I was ranking them. So, it increased by 40 players from last year even, so the board continues to grow for me each and every single year. Definitely probably about maxing out on how much that I can touch in these couple of months, but that being said, a lot of prospects that I'm getting the chance to evaluate and enjoying every bit of that. Thanks again for watching these videos. I'm excited for this last one. We'll dive into the edge rushers here right now before signing off for 2024. Of course, mock draft's going to be coming up as well on the Keon Sports website, keonsports.com. Go check that out. Well, Diving into the edge rushers here, number 3 and number 4 were extremely tight. Chop Robinson, the edge rusher of Penn State, just barely missed that third spot. It was neck and neck between him and my number 3 prospect, Jared Verse of Florida State. Verse is a true 4-3 defensive end that perhaps plays best with his hand in the dirt. He can also make things happen when moving around, which means he could play some 3-4 outside linebacker if necessary. He displays lots of counter moves, has polished technique, and happens to be a great decision maker. Like most top edge rusher prospects, he is disruptive, strong, and his motor runs hot. Verse is excellent at dipping under blocks or flashing rapid, heavy strikes upon contact with a blocker. He has ideal lateral agility, which also helps him with filling gaps against the run. He's not overly long and could have better control as a tackler. I would like to see him enhance his block recognition, but not a lot of further refinement is needed. He's going to be able to hold up with his stature, with his strength. The way that he plays at the NFL, it's going to translate to making an impact early. My player comparisons for him, Kayvon Thibodeaux. Thibodeau's a guy who might be a little bit more athletic than Verse, but there's some similarities there in the ability to move around. I think Kwity Paye is probably more accurate to how he moves, more of a straight line mover, but can move around on that line, and I like the physicality that Paye has, similar to the Verse, so a lot of similarities in the way that they play. Going to be a top 20 pick. Best fits for him, well, Houston. If Houston could bring him in, brought in Hunter, they have Anderson, why not add a guy like Verse? So then you have 3 very talented edge rushers. New Orleans would be an excellent fit. They need another edge rusher that's reliable, opposite of Cam Jordan. Certainly could add Jared Verse there, keep him in the South. Buffalo, the Bills. Von Miller had his injury issues last year. Definitely had some time where he was not out on the field, and when he was on the field wasn't as productive as normal. They really haven't been able to find the pass rush that I think they've wanted to have in the last year or so. So a guy like Verse might be able to help get them out of what's felt like a bit of a slump. My wild card, San Francisco. San Francisco, they love to get their hands on an edge rusher whenever they can. Chase Young came in and played a little bit last year with them and route to going to the Super Bowl where they ultimately fell to the Chiefs. But Nick Bosa, he's their mainstay on one end. He can add Verse on the other, and they always have guys that can rotate in and out opposite of Bosa, but Verse might be an important player for them if they can actually pull the trigger and snag him in this draft. At number 2, Laiatu Latu of UCLA. He will likely be the first edge rusher selected in this draft. He has the versatility to play 3-4 outside linebacker or as a hybrid 4-3 defensive end. Latu possesses great length, good speed, and plenty of bend around the edge. He's pretty elusive with numerous pass rush moves and elite burst. Latu has exceptional body control and can drop in coverage. He might not have overwhelming athleticism, but his motor is most certainly elite. He isn't super strong, which makes it tough to disengage from high-caliber offensive linemen, and there are some injury concerns. He's had some lapses in run defense as well. Regardless, Latu is a true sack machine, which many teams covet, and that's why I think he'll probably be the first one off of the board. Really like the ability that he has. Going to be a disruptive guy in the NFL. My player comparisons for him, Aiden Hutchinson and Bud Dupree. Both guys who I've seen them in 4-3 schemes, but they act as those hybrid guys. A lot of times you see Hutchinson standing up rather than having his hand in the dirt. If Latu ends up in a 4-3 based defense, he's probably not going to have his hand in the dirt a lot, probably going to be standing up, but I think he will suit best in a 3-4 base defense at outside linebacker, but just a matter of where he gets drafted. He's going to be a top 15 pick. My best fits for him, Indianapolis. I think he'd work well there. They could use his pass rushing ability. They haven't had somebody that's nearly as explosive. Think Paye is a more physical type of guy. Latu would bring the burst. Minnesota, after losing Daniel Hunter, they could use an edge rusher of his capability. Atlanta would be well suited by getting a pass rusher of his skill set. And my wild card is Washington. Trying to replace Montez Sweat and Chase Young is very difficult to do, but Latu would give them a step in the right direction. Just not going to be the likelihood that they're going to be able to get him unless they trade back into the first round somehow, get their quarterback in the first couple of picks, and then go Latu again with another pick in the first. At number 1 is Dallas Turner of Alabama. Turner displays elite speed and explosiveness, yet happens to be patient in his play style. Ideally, I would like to see him as a 3-4 outside linebacker. Because he would be undersized at 4-3 defensive end, he could be a hybrid guy, but he's going to be best suited in a 3-4. He has the fastest change of direction in this class, great flexibility, and is rather scary in pursuit. Turner has a refined arsenal of moves, but can also slip through tight spaces. He plays strong for his size and has plenty of pop in his hands. He has some room to add some more weight and muscle, which would help his run defense, as that's also still developing. Sometimes he does lack consistency and disruption, but that will likely come with minor refinement in his game. He usually can make plays happen. Like I said, there's just cold moments occasionally, and then times where he just feels like he's in the backfield constantly. I do think he should be that second edge rusher selected in this class, but he's the best one in my opinion just because of that explosiveness and that elite athleticism that I think he has. My player comparison for him, Will Anderson Jr., who obviously defensive rookie of the year this past year. Anderson and Turner, a little bit different in how that they play, but I think ultimately the disruption is pretty similar. Boye Mafe is probably more who he compares to in the play style, but he has the ability of Anderson. Going to be a top 20 pick, and the best fits for him, Jacksonville, Seattle, Los Angeles Rams. So the Jags, they could certainly take him opposite of Josh Allen, and that would be very disruptive there for that defensive line. Seattle, they could couple him in with a couple other good edge rushers that they have, including Boye Mafe, who I mentioned already, and wouldn't be bad to have Turner be the starter and Mafe serve as the backup there, like for like switches there on the defensive end if one gets tired. The Los Angeles Rams, they need all the help they can get, and an edge rusher like Turner would give them a step in the right direction. My wild card is the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals would love to get their hands on a guy like Dallas Turner. Probably not going to get Turner unless they decide to trade down and not go wide receiver, take somebody in the first couple picks of this year's draft. But if they do trade down, Turner might be worth a selection if they get down to somewhere between 9 and 13 or so. Should still be on the board, maybe around that range. Would really help out their defense. But that now does it for the edge rushers. Been a blast talking about all these prospects, and hate to always have to wrap this up, close it out, and say so long. We'll talk about these prospects again. Not these prospects specifically, but we'll talk about the 2025 prospects next year around the same time. That being said, like I mentioned before, a lot of content still coming up. My big board in full totality where I combined all these positions together, that's going to be released here in the next day or so, so make sure to check that out. 248 prospects listed on that big board, and then the mock drafts upcoming, and you can check that out, see where I think players are going to be going in this upcoming draft. And as I mentioned, the draft show is going to wrap everything up here in late April. So stay tuned to all the content, turn those notifications on, and make sure that you are subscribed and you get your family members, your friends, anybody out there who you can get to subscribe to the channel. Make sure they do so. Signing off one last time here, Cole McDaniel. Have a good one.